And hello, everybody. Welcome. It is Friday. I am not dead, despite Quebec's efforts to do so. Welcome, everybody. I don't know if y'all are aware that Quebec has like this massive wildfire going on right now, apparently. I'm pretty sure it was Quebec's wildfire that we were getting like the smoke blown in from in my neck of the woods down here. And so I've spent the better part of the previous week suffering with a bit of bronchitis. So hello everybody, hello Action Toys, Stacy, see Randy, Gav. Hello everybody. Yeah, there's a few wildfires. There's one in northern Ontario, which I don't think is really affecting us very much, and then we had Quebec's wildfires to the east of us. That one definitely sent some smoke our way, and directly into my lungs, which apparently, you know, French are trying to assassinate your favorite crumb, which it plays into today's topic. A little bit here. They're trying to eliminate me. Not succeeding, you know. The details of my demise are greatly exaggerated, so. Hello everybody. Tracy. How are you doing? Tracy and Stacy, let's go. We got the sisters in the chat. Let's go. Yeah. Good to see everybody, though. It's good to see everybody. How are we doing? How's folks doing today? So yeah, I am doing better. I didn't have a voice a couple of days ago, but I'm doing better now. So here we are. That's why I didn't stream on Twitch much this week at all. I normally would be streaming on Twitch during the week, but I didn't have much of a voice. I've been like pretty hoarse all week because of the bronchitis I've been dealing with, unfortunately. But we're better now. She definitely would have called true. True. No, we're doing much better now. I'm actually like my energy levels back up. I'm gonna have a cough for a little while though. I'm just coughing up all the crap that's been like built up in my lungs for the past little bit, but definitely doing much better than I had been. So it was a very good thing. But holy crap. Holy crap. I just found it really funny. There I am. No sickies. Hello, Laura. How are you doing? I'm doing much better than I was. So, much better than what I was, at least. Oh my god. Is that Montana's? It is Montana's. I'm actually gonna get Montana's after the show today, funny enough. I actually have an order for Montana's to be delivered after I finish the show today, so that's pretty ironic. Oh my gosh. I have to blow my nose, 1 second. Ah! Holy Lord! Alright. Finally hit the weekend. Yes, weekend time. Another fist fight. Oh boy. That sounds like fun. So I don't imagine we're gonna go super long on this week either. But just because like I don't know how long my voice is gonna hold up. But we'll go for a show today. We'll try it up. Topic for today. Oh God! As you can see on the screen, everybody hates Crumb. I find it really funny how I can do a show and I can talk very generally about certain things, and people just assume it's about them. And I'm finding out that we have isn't every day a weekend. It's true. I'm finding out that we have a little cadre of hate watchers, which is very, very funny. I appreciate the watch hours. You remember missing the show but don't remember what the show is like? Oh my goodness. Thank you for the watch hours, weirdos that apparently really, really dislike me but just cannot fucking turn my channel off for some reason. You guys are the best. So I wanted to talk a little bit because I find this I find this topic pretty entertaining and pretty fun. Because someone must be a Skrull in here. Exactly, Gav. We have a few. It's very, very interesting how some people can just like literally do nothing. Like some people can literally just exist and just have a group of people be very, very angry at them just for existing. It's fascinating. Isn't that called stalking? In some situations, yes. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. And I'm going to give a little bit of a pointer, because I know that some individuals have been having a hard time recently with being the villain, right? There's some people that have recently had some stuff talked about them, and they're having a bit of a hard time because they're not used to the negative attention that certain individuals are giving. So like, here's a small little condolence here, right? If you're getting negative attention from shitty people, like if you're getting name called by absolute garbage cans of human beings, that's probably a good thing. If shitty people dislike you, that's probably a good thing. It's called obsessing. True. They're jealous because people like you and not them. I guess that's part of it, Stacy. That's the funny part. I guess that's part of it. So like I said last week, there's some stuff that I really wasn't gonna talk about and I really wasn't gonna get into, because it just seemed nonsensical, and it seemed like it was just the way that it was being brought about was just not in a way that would lend credibility. So I really wasn't going to talk about it. And then I just got dragged into a conversation. So I said my piece last week. I talked about it, and that was that. That was pretty much the long and the short of what I was going to talk about it, and that was it. I find out that people from like years past, like stuff that I've talked about years ago, literally like the last iterations of the podcast, they're still watching my content, and they're still trying to like, I don't even understand what they're trying to talk about. Yeah, if you want to say that I'm a mean person, I don't give a shit. I'm not going to be nice to shitty people. That's a fact of it. I'm not going to be nice to shitty people. And I am not sorry that I made fun of your queen several years ago for making an ass of herself in court. And going out on record and telling people that she looked forward to taking someone to court so that she could dunk on him, and then got absolutely fucking obliterated by an actual lawyer. I mean, that was not me. I didn't even know about the situation until like several months after the fact. I just laughed at it. I don't care. I'm not the idiot in that situation. You got a weirdo after you, the same people. They have literally never left, Angela. They have literally never left. This is the funny part. Chat's been timed out. You don't have your hammer here. They're gonna turn on moderation activity. There we go. There we go. I keep forgetting I have to do that. Yeah, like there is no obligation of me to be nice to people who are assholes. To people that I care about, to people that to myself or whatever else. If you're a jackass to someone that I am friends with, or if you're a jackass to me, guess what? I'm not going to be nice to you. Shitty people expecting you just to take everything that you throw at you and then get surprised when they throw back some shit. Unlike people sitting on Twitter, you have life and work, so what's happening is shit still going on after all this time. This is the funny part, Gav. It's never stopped going on. It has never stopped. It just like it constantly is just a thing because these people are perpetually online. They never fucking stop. They don't have lives. Everyone else has a life. Everyone else has been doing stuff and has been moving on with their lives. There are groups of people. They're like you know clumps of lint in the washing machine that just stick there and just roll around and collect more. It's literally what these people are. Like they don't fucking leave. They just sit there and they just ruin everything that they touch, and then they grab other shitty people and become just a giant nuisance. So I wanted to talk because there's people out there that recently had some stuff talked about them, and they're a bit uncomfortable, and they're a bit upset because they're being treated like the villain in the situation. And I wanted to give a bit of pointers to people out there and let people know that it's okay. It is okay to be a villain in some situations. Now, for those of you who watch wrestling, you understand that there's a babyface and that there's a heel role, and that there's an important thing for you need both to tell a story, which is fine. And you don't necessarily you know, have to be evil for, you know, blah 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 blah. So being cast as a villain is not necessarily a bad thing, and you can have fun with it, especially when the people who are casting you as the villain are absolutely shitty people. I'll take that all day, believe me. You moved on. The only reason you say anything is because these dumbasses can't shut the fuck up and leave everyone alone. That's what I'm saying. Like, they just cannot stop. How do they even afford to be on Twitter all day? They're on disability. They're on government assistance. They're like siphoning from somebody. Hey, distract enemies. How you doing? Probably because the bitch is the villain. You said, it just reminds you, it's like, when he says that's just one big piece of shit. Yeah, exactly. Sorry if I'm, like, sniffling or, like, coughing, because I'm still dealing with the bronchitis. It's just the tail end of the bronchitis. Just getting rid of it. Ugh. Good God. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how I've personally dealt with being the villain over the past several years about a bunch of different things. Because at the end of the day, this comes down to a little thing called main character syndrome. Now, there's a lot of people out here that have never been and will never be amounting to anything in their lives. which is, contrary to what modern education tells people. It sound like Al Pacino in Scarface. Sniff. Had bronchitis and strep at the same time. It's terrible. I mean, it's terrible. I finally, like, just a couple days ago, finally just broke out of the fever. The fever loop. It was terrible. And it was like when we were hitting like 40+ degree weather too. It was like, oh my god. But basically, contrary to what modern education tells people, not everyone is going to succeed in life. Not everybody is going to be entitled to have a number one spot. There's only one number one spot. Everybody else fights for it. Everybody else falls into certain degrees. Everyone has a fucking role in society. Whether that role is glorious or whether that role is not so glorious, everybody's got a spot. And some people don't like their spot. Live long enough as the hero and you become the villain. Live long enough as the villain as you become a hero. Exactly. You could eat and your temperature is all over the place. Yeah, it was. My temperature was like up and down all freaking week. Got a spot in your heart. Aw, thank you, Laura. So, what main character syndrome does for people, aside from give them the incredible urge to dye their hair some kind of fluorescent fucking color on the spectrum, it causes them to think that they are more important than they actually are. It causes them to think that they are the only person that is important, actually. And when their life doesn't amount to that degree of importance, it's a play pleaser. When their life doesn't amount to that degree of importance, then they have this little reality schism where they have to create a reality where they are that important, where they are that idol, right? They have to be that center of attention, because if they aren't, then they have to go back down to reality where they're not actually that important, and they have to live in that reality. So escapism becomes a big thing. Now, being in the world of live action roleplay, and stuff like that, there's a very big faux pas where you view yourself as the main character of the story. Now, in live action roleplay, for those of you who don't know, there's a bunch of people that are playing characters. There's an overarching story, and no one person is the center of said story. Especially like the larger of the role-playing group that you're part of, because you have to spread it around. Think of it like wrestling. There's not really, in like most wrestling things, there's the top people, sure, but then like there's a bunch of other people too, but there's not plot to go around for everybody. So some people have to job. Some people don't get camera time. But you get people, one big faux pas is that you get people that have some inflated value about themselves. And they think that they are more important, and they think that they are bigger than what they actually are. Or they think that they're above their station, when they actually aren't. And this causes a whole slew of issues. Because you start doing stuff out of step, or you start doing stuff that doesn't make sense, and then you throw the entire situation, mid-card and the jobbers, exactly. You throw the entire situation on its head. You make things very uncomfortable and very awkward for everybody. Start going off script, etc. Now, I'm not saying that life is like that life is scripted. I'm not saying that stuff. However, I am saying that a person walking down the street that you have never seen before is not necessarily important to you. But that person might think that they are supposed to be important to everybody, period. And that's where the problem comes in. Most people who are narcissistic tend to fall into two categories: regular narcissistic or extremely dangerous because they can't handle the reality. They are willing to go scorched earth. Exactly. There's a lot of people that slip into delusional narcissism. There's a lot of people that create these little bubble worlds for themselves. The advent of social media and the internet has actually exacerbated this problem, because before it used to be that you had areas that you could go to, like you had like Dungeons and Dragons that you could play, right, where you could go to escape. You had your little groups of people that you could be the top dog in, right? You could be the head of the table in your little group, and that was good back in the day. Nowadays, you have entire made-up communities, imaginary followings of invisible, non-real people on the internet that you have a bunch of numbers that you can point to and say, hey, all of those people think that I am correct. All of those people think that I am right. All of those people love me. But at the end of the day, if it came down to it, if you had a death in the family, how many of those people are coming to your funeral, right? It sounds like you're talking about Ryback. Ryback is actually a very good example of that. Ryback is an extremely good example of that. He has lost it. I mean, I completely agree. He thinks that he's Goldberg, for God's sake. He thinks that he's on the same level as Goldberg. It's like, dude, you were like ECW. Relax. But I've had the funny part is like, I've had people over the past few years believe that they are so important that other people actually care what their opinion is, or other people should care what their opinion is. I've had other people make response videos to me, and I haven't found out about their response videos for like 6 months to a year. And I laugh. I don't watch this shit. I don't watch people talking to me and whatever else. Even though, like, I know that we have a little friend, a toothless asshole little friend that loves to sit in my videos and loves to have imaginary conversations with me, because apparently these people don't operate in reality. They don't operate in reality, and they're always the ones that have like the perfect comebacks, right, in their mind after the fact. Response video is usually funny because it's either completely wrong or completely right, but it's funny. Exactly. So like, I don't even bother watching it, because it's like, I don't care. The funny part is like these folks think that I care about what their opinion is. They think that they amount to anything at all in terms of being a factor in my life. They don't. They absolutely don't. I don't give a shit what their opinion is, because they're shitty people at the end of the day. I'm not going to wake up and be like, I need to know what Johnny Random 123 on Twitter has said about my podcast. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about Johnny Random 123 on Twitter that doesn't come into my chat, that doesn't interact in my community, that, you know, doesn't go to any of my functions, that doesn't, you know, do anything for me. I don't give a shit. What's this about a response video? Well, I was going to get to that, Blade Blazer. So, the funnier part is when you have people who are third party watching for other people and then passing along their like warped interpretation about what I've said. And then have people make response videos about that. That's probably one of my favorites. The crumb emote fits because you're so unbothered. Exactly. It really fucking does. It's literally like exactly how I look when I read these comments. Exactly how I look when I read these comments. So, again, these individuals want my attention so fucking bad, and it's hilarious. It's so, and I don't know if there's a specific thing that I do differently than other people, but hey, whatever, I'll take it. You think you'll have a field day? So, last week I talked about a situation. Just gave a very broad, it was very generic stroke on it. Talked about the situation, gave my 2 cents on it, even took out some tinfoil and made a conspiracy theory about it, openly stating that it was just a conspiracy theory. Having a bit of fun with it. And I find out that one of the weirdos that has been obsessively following my videos for literally years, even though apparently he hates everything about me. I mean, I guess he hates that I make him reach for the Vaseline container every time that I stream too. But I found out that he had apparently passed along or like mentioned or regaled to said person, to one person that I was talking about the situation, and that person made a response video to me. To this day I still haven't watched it because I just find it hilarious that she even cares what my opinion is. If I'm so inconsequential as to my opinion not mattering, then I don't know why you made a response video to me talking after I got dragged into having an opinion about this by you weirdos to begin with. Again, you really are showing exactly how hinged y'all are. All I'm gonna say about that. Worry about me, I suppose. Worry about me and my opinion. Because I'm just sitting here laughing in your face. Videos taking editing effort, maybe. So maybe there is some care. I guess so, Blight Blazer. They care so little, right? Never understood why do a response video if you don't want them to have any attention. I mean, I don't know. Apparently I'm non-threatening, which I didn't realize that I was meant to be threatening, but hey. Apparently I'm non-threatening. You know, probably a good thing when you're doing a podcast to be non-threatening if you want people to listen to you for more than 5 minutes. I mean, I could just go full Alex Jones. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water. Turn the friggin' frogs gay. I could just go full Alex Jones on this shit, but... I just found it funny. I don't know why they think that I would watch their stupid videos. I'm not like I don't know why they would think why they think that, because like I didn't even direct it at anybody. I literally haven't directed it at anybody. I haven't sent it to anyone to send it to these people. I had them commenting on, and I'm not publishing your stupid comments. I'm not publishing your comments because I don't care what your opinion is anymore. I don't care anymore what your stupid opinion is. You have your garbage platform. Go talk on it. Go stand on your fucking tin can. Now you have so many people that love you. I'm sure that they will sit there and clap for you. Go for it. I don't give a shit about what your opinion is. You're not going to change my opinion. Go to Threads, exactly. Go to Threads. You need to be threatening when you do your podcast. Completely do the exact opposite of what you do. Exactly. Just do the exact opposite of what I do. Loud noises. So, like, I don't care about what some toothless, motherless weirdo on the internet says about me. You have to go to bed. Maybe some game of all bad cards is in order. Have a good night, Gav. Take care. Go to Threads and then get banned. I don't care about what some like psychotic cosplayer says or has an opinion about me. No, the weirdo toothless simp that was transcribing my video to said person is a toothless, motherless weirdo. Funny how these parentless people find each other. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what... I don't give a shit about what some failed hooker has, what her opinion is about me. I mean, be mad, be upset that I statistically have a better chance of having a healthy baby than you do. I statistically have a better chance of giving birth to a child without fetal alcohol syndrome than you do. So congratulations for that. Be mad about it, I suppose. They got a fire eater here. True. It's about trying to control the narrative and flood the Google results. Pretty much, Naren. Pretty much. Light blazing. Be mad about that, I suppose. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about what your opinions are. I don't give a shit about what your opinions are. And it's funny that you think I care. And it's content for me. You know, talking about it, it's content for me. I don't give a shit. I mean, I don't know if anybody in that spectrum, I mean somebody on that spectrum did actually sit there and probably watch all fucking 89 episodes of my podcast previously. I feel bad for the chafing ointment that he must have used up while doing so. Hello, Sam. How you doing? You don't hate me. That's okay. It's okay. Again, I'm going to talk about how to embrace the heel role. Embrace being the heel, because honest to God, it is so funny because people just get really, really mad. That weirdo's been brainwashed by your content and now is confused on which side he's on. I'm telling you, distract enemies. There are some people that try to get into fights with me because they enjoy being ridiculed. And it's very, very weird. It is very, very weird. So, I know there's a lot of people out there that are very uncomfortable being in a villainous role. So they're cucks, pretty much. She's mad because you said you know why Vic didn't want a real relationship and that you were bi and that you wouldn't touch her. Oh my God. It's always the slam pigs. It's always the slam pigs. Can Miss Crumb degrade us? We are bad, exactly. Twitter brings out the worst in people. It really does, and so do drugs. So does drug abuse. You're working a con with Quinn, or else you tune in. Have a wonderful time, Sam. Enjoy it. Tell Quentin I said hi. Never do crazy, but your other head can't shut up at times. True. I'm telling you. Embrace being a villain when the people who are calling you a villain are shitty human beings. At the end of the day. Why do you have, like, you don't have to care when terrible people have an opinion about you. Joke's on you, I'm the worst. Like, at the end of the day, you do not have to care when the person who is calling you a villain is, like, literally the walking embodiment of evil on the planet. It probably means you're doing a good thing. Probably means that you're doing a good thing. But more than anything else, is that these individuals hate the truth. They vilify the truth. They hate reality. They hate living in reality. They hate people that talk about reality. They hate people that make them face reality. Girl is fugly. I mean, Stacy, when you go through life, when you go through life looking like a crumple zone on a car, I mean, I don't know. You can put as many wigs and as much like body filler on it as you want, and I'm sure it'll look good until you get in the shower. But like, I understand why these people want to avoid reality. I get it. It's a tough thing to look in the mirror and be like, God damn, you know, I'm 25 plus years old and I'm staring at a wall right now. You know, like, I get it. It's tough. However, there's a point in your life where you have to realize, like, I don't give a fucking shit what other people's opinions are. I don't care. People talk about my hairline. People talk about, you know, my eyebrows, or people talk about my gut, or people talk about whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm north of 30 years old. I don't give a flying fadoo about what people consider, because at the end of the day, I'm not trying to sleep with them. They're apparently not trying to sleep with me. I mean, debatable. They seem more obsessed about my looks than anybody else. You old head. I don't give a shit. And at the end of the day, I'm the one who has to live with me. So if I don't care, I don't know why other people need to care. To be honest, we're all losers in the end, but we have to realize if we want to be winners, we need to stop caring about what people say about ourselves and just do what needs to be done to live. Exactly. At the end of the day, when I put my head down on my pillow, I can sleep at night. I can sleep very comfortably at night. And I have no problem doing so. Living, like, I understand, like, living with all this, like, crap that people are living with. Like, they're avoiding reality so hard. And it's an exhausting situation because they have to avoid not just like the big things, right? They don't just have to avoid the news. They don't just have to avoid, like, whatever else. It's literally everything that they have to avoid, even the smallest of things. Even the smallest of things. People are going to hate you for a number of reasons. Why should I care what their opinions are? Exactly. And that's a fact of like growing up too, though. We spend such of our early lives like going through school and going through high school and just worrying about what everyone thinks about us and worrying about social status and whatever else and blah 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 blah. And then you get out of high school and it's just like everyone's still like, oh, what's this? What's so and so think about me? What's this and what's that? Blah 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 blah. It doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day. At the end of the day, no one cares about social status. People care more about money. People care about people that get shit done. Because if you can't get shit done, and if you're useless as a person, and you cannot bring anything to the table, then you better have social status and you better have very good social skills, because you need to rely on people who can do things because you can't do something. Which is where you see these individuals like that person I was talking about. You prefer to be useless than live in a fantasy. But that's the thing. It's like, you're not useless if you could take care of yourself, though. Think of a situation in like an apocalyptic situation, right? The people who cannot provide for themselves, people who do not know how to take care of themselves, people who do not know basic survival instinct, those individuals will gravitate to people who can take care of them. Cannibalism is the way. Those people will gravitate to those who can take care of them and nourish them, right? However, when resources are scarce, you can't take care of everybody, especially people that don't pull their fucking weight. And so you get a bunch of people who are completely useless, who are living in excess right now, because this is our society. We reward based on a very weird set of circumstances. Instead of based on like merit and stuff like that, we reward and shower people for literally doing nothing at all. But taking a look at it, it's like, look, okay, how does this make sense? How does any of this make sense? The one thing I keep getting told by these weirdos, oh, I make so much money, I make so much money, I make so much money. Based on what? Based on what merit? Do you know how many people in the world, if they had to put food on their table, do you know how many people in the world could go out and suck a dick right now? Make so much less money for no merit, exactly. You know how many people could do that? Do you think that that's some kind of like skilled trade? Blazer. That's why they have OnlyFans. That's the funny part, though, Stacy, is that OnlyFans doesn't pay. It pays like anything else. It pays for the top percent. I know so many people who went to OnlyFans, who went to adult content websites, etc., etc. I know so many people out there that have tried to do it, and you can't break through. Yeah, the average is around $14 a day. Well, I guess $14 a month. $14 a day would actually be pretty a lot. But $14 a month. It's not worth it. That is a vast majority too. That's a month. Because at the end of the day, they're still not bringing anything to the table. You're still not bringing anything to the table. You gotta do something. You're better off being a sex worker than an OnlyFans model. At least you're paid more. It's true. That is true. You make more at your job in a week? I make more at my job in a half an hour. Half an hour's of work at my workplace, I make more. So at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to be out here and throw around like, I make so much money, I do a better do. Guess what? I'm on the internet. I have a good enough internet connection to stream. I have a good enough internet connection to stream video games. And stream. I have a good enough internet connection. And I have a good enough job to afford electricity and air conditioning, delivery, transportation. I do that on my own. I don't do that with government assistance. I don't do that off the backs of OnlyFans or, trying to rope in a bunch of motherless, toothless simps on the internet because they think that they're going to catch a glimpse of titty. I have not once flashed my tits on stream. I have not once flashed my feet on stream. And yet. Now, I'm not going to say that that is like a virtuous thing. I'm just pointing out differences here. I'm just pointing out some differences here. There are some people that need to do that because that's all they bring to the table. And these weirdo individuals I still don't believe you, Action Toys. I have not seen a clip of that. You make enough money to pay your bills and keep the roof on over your head, and that's what matters? Exactly. And guess what, Tracy? That is more than most of these people. And put food on the table. Absolutely. And that is more than most of these people. Because there's a lot of people out there that don't even do that do nothing of value, period, except sit on the internet and bitch at people and siphon off better people than them. That's it. That's it. If somebody's claim to how useful they are as a person is who they've slept with, who can fix that lady? Jesus, probably. I don't know. Yeah, she had a GoFundMe for a new couch. She had to crowdfund a chair. And rent. Because, even though being a part of Channel Awesome still is so fucking mundane that no one cares about her, period. You make enough to keep a roof over your head and keep food in the house, it's good enough for me? Absolutely, Stacy. Absolutely, Stacy. Of course, Tracy. Mars Girl tried suing Yellow Flash. I'm sure that went extremely well. I'm sure that went so freaking well. At the end of the day, if these individuals on the internet are not contributing to my life in some way or fashion, it's like the three F's. Three important F's in your life, right? If they ain't funny, if they're not making you laugh, if they ain't funny, if they ain't feeding you, and if they ain't fucking you, then they ain't nobody. She didn't even see Yellow Flash use the money to go to a convention. That's exactly correct, Stacy. At the end of the day, that's the way you go by it, and it's if they're important to you. They ain't nothing. So I don't know why people think that their opinions should matter to other people. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. And this is to all those weirdos that are absolutely lurking in the channel right now. Y'all choose to come in here. You all choose to come in here, and y'all choose to watch, and y'all choose to listen, and y'all choose to run back to your Discords and piss in each other's mouths. You choose to come here. I don't ask you to come here. I don't force you to come here. I don't send a Gestapo out and drag your asses back here in cages and force your eyeballs open. You choose to come here. Blazer. You choose to come here and take in my content. You choose to get upset by my content. Whether it's because you're a fat whale in Norway that gets upset because I put a clown nose on your anime avatar. Or because you're a psychotic ex-girlfriend in buttfuck Idaho who can't get over the fact that she got dumped for somebody prettier than her and more stable than her. Or if it's because you're some toothless wackadoo who lives with his lesbian aunts and can't get a crumb of female attention on the internet, and so you have to go out and harass people for it. It matters not. It matters not. Y'all can say whatever and spin whatever. And the reason why people view, like in this situation, why people view me as a villain is because I have no apologies to these people. They poison the well when they talk about when they talk about me and my situation. You see it all the time. Like, oh, that Crumb's talking about you. The Crumb says this and this and this about this person, and they're horrible, terrible people. It's like, look, I'm not the fat, bald asshole who decided to attack a paintball range because I was too fat, out of shape, and too much of an asshole to be allowed to play there. When you hold up a mirror to these people They call you a villain because they see all the things that they hate about themselves that you're talking about. And because you're the person bringing that reality back to them, you're the villain. So embrace that. Embrace that role. You need to touch grass or dirt or whatever's outside. The real villains in the situation are the people that enable this crap. That allow this hug box to stand. But these individuals, they can't for the life of them see themselves as anything but the hero of their own story. They have to get praise and admiration for something. They have to, which is fine. It's all empty. They know it's empty, which is why they continuously try to refill their cup. It's never enough, and it will never be enough. They're sad individuals that get mad when other people point out that they're sad individuals. And you might be one of the dumbest people out here in the world, but you know reality and you hate it, but it's either you flow with it or you resist it. It makes you sour old person with regrets. Exactly. Like, these weirdos out here trying to dunk on me for being a furry, or trying to dunk on me because I made Neopets fan art, or I wrote I wrote like multiple stories for the Neopian Times. They're trying to like expose that as some shame point. I'm not ashamed of anything like that, obviously. I wouldn't have the picture that I drew hanging in my room as a print if I wasn't proud of it. You think I'm ashamed of that? You're hilarious. And then they try to add their own insecurities, and they try to add their own bullshit and delusional spin by trying to dictate terms that don't exist. You'll see it on the internet right now for One Piece. Oh, Action Toys. I'm not that kind of a furry. I'm not that. Like, I am like dipping a toe into the furry pool. I'm not that furry. We need Ken Jennings on here to examine these nut jobs. It's a very interesting situation, because you have people who I'm certain have some trauma, and that this is how they're dealing with it. They get into this escapism feedback loop, which is only made worse by online hug boxes. When I heard your story about being a furry, you laughed because it didn't meet your expectations about what a furry really is. Seriously, Randy. I thought so, like, years and years and years ago. I'm like, oh man, furries sound pretty cool. I guess I'm a furry, blah blah blah. And then I went to an actual fur meet, and I'm like, I'm not a furry. like going around the table, I'm like, I have made a huge mistake. I am not one of you. I am just a passenger. I just like, cartoons. I definitely am not whatever the hell that is. They have trauma and they need help rewiring the brain. I mean, I agree. Distract enemies. Action toys. Let me tell you a story about what actually happened in Anime North one time. Okay. So, because, you know, I had money to burn, so I commissioned a fursuit of one of my Neopets because I liked costuming, I liked like role playing, I liked all that sort of stuff. So I had a costume done of one of my Neopets because I thought it would be fun, because I thought it would be unique and something that hadn't been done before. And as hot as hell as it was, I wore it to Anime North one year, and it was super cool. You know, lots of fun. A lot of people really enjoyed it, took photos and all that stuff like that. So as I was melting in the 37-degree weather, in this head-to-toe padded fursuit, I'm sitting down outside. Someone comes over and asks if they could make a video. I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, no problem. And then asks me to start grooming myself. My honest reaction was, excuse me? What? I shit you not. They asked me if I could groom myself, and I'm like, all right, hold up. This is a bit too much. I'm like, it is 37 degrees out. I am fairly certain I am hallucinating. Like, I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for this crap. We out. So, again, there are degrees. There are degrees of furry that I do not delve into, and how extremely just surface that I have been in that. I found out that day. So, yeah. That's weird, and I have no popcorn. I don't know what would possess someone to just walk up and ask, like, hey, can you groom yourself on camera? No. Actually. Thanks. I'm gonna go anywhere away from you now. Thanks. So yeah. And I find it really funny that they try to, like, these weirdos try to pull this up as like a dunk or something. It's like, number one, y'all have no idea. Number one, they have no idea about anything in the furry fandom that you can't, like, that you can't Google or can't find on a Google search. And it's number two, they have absolutely no idea about me whatsoever as a person. So I just find it really funny when they try to fill in the blanks with their little popcorn brain. She was horrified when she met furries. Aw. See, like, most furries in public are fine. It's when you get them behind closed doors, or when you get them in, like, their little groups when they can really get freaky. That's when it's a bit more monk-ass. That's when it's a bit more freaky. Just checked your Twitter, you had a notification. Someone replied to you on a 4-year-old tweet trying to defend Jamie. You blocked them. Best course of action, Stacey. They're wearing BDSM gear. Yeah. People will do that. People will do that. Oh my goodness. So, like, For those of you who are out there that might be going through some shit right now, and who may be experiencing a little bit of heat on the internet, just embrace it. Just enjoy the heel roll. It's literally as easy as just not giving a shit. You don't even have to engage with these people. Just if you want a master class in how to be a heel, just watch AEW, just watch MJF. And like his reactions to people are just absolute classic. Never questions you when it comes to the con scene. That's hilarious. Distract enemies. That's so funny. Thanks, Grum. I needed that, I guess. just like, you know. Oh, hey, Adam Cole. Oh, hello, generic white male. Just like, you just have to have that absolute level of just not giving a shit when you're dealing with people like this, because they are literally nobodies. They are literally nobodies. And they will only have as much power as you allow for them to have over you. That's it. That's it. You can laugh at their absurdity, and when they start getting like pissy and start crossing over into actionable territory, then you take action when it needs to be. But like, for the most part, they're all like, they're cowards. For the most part, they're spineless people. Yeah, don't argue with idiots. Don't suffer fools. I even go so far as to say, like, don't even block them. Don't even bother blocking them. Just go ahead and mute them. And if they keep going at you and keep going at you and keep going at you after you haven't said anything to them in like a week, then block them. Because it is more needed for them to have an interaction and a reply from you than anything else. Exactly. Laugh at them when they double down, just laugh even harder. Oh wait, you're serious. Let me laugh harder. They can't fucking stand the smug face, man. They can't. That's what I do. I mute them and I let them scream into the void. Because that's the funniest thing ever. Knowing that I'm just like doing whatever else in my life, and they have just spent like countless hours screaming at me and thinking that they're filling up my notifications when absolutely nothing is happening on my end. That is like quite possibly the fucking absolute best, because they think that they're winning. They're crusty little keyboards that sound like Velcro every time that they type on it. They think that they're winning. As the spittle flies from their toothless mouths. Because you know that these people are like the ones that when they're typing like this furious essay, they're actually like vocalizing it as they're typing it and like laughing and snorting to themselves. Why aren't you responding to me? Your wife heard when you get them behind closed doors when it gets freaky. Your wife looked at just like, what? Action toys. I'm telling you though. Just embrace when shitty people consider you being a villain. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be the villain in somebody's story. You're reading The Prince and The Art of War, and these idiots totally don't do these tactics right? No, they really don't. They really don't. That's the funniest part. They overvalue themselves. You find it funny that you get a notification just as we're all on here talking. Hello, haters. Oh, there's 100% people in here lurking that are little fucking weirdos. Our little resident Pepega, I'm certain, is hiding in here, furiously beating off his little half pack of Mentos. I'm telling you, man. People don't like it. Like I don't care. Call me ugly. What you can't call me is not funny. I am fucking hilarious. And you can't stop that. And you can't stop the people from laughing at you. And you can't stop the people from questioning you. And you can't stop the people from bringing reality to your doorstep. So yeah, I'm a villain. I don't give a shit. Keep hating. Because much like reality, I'm not going anywhere. Amazing and funny as fuck. Thank you. They're lurking and then suddenly get some bitch responding to a 4-year-old tweet. Exactly. I can call you not funny. That just means that you weren't my audience. Exactly. Distract enemies. Anyone is allowed to be wrong. At the end of the day, anyone's allowed to not have good taste. I can't stop you. I can't stop you from having bad taste. At the end of the day. But again, like you said, not everyone's my audience, and that's fine. Not everyone's my audience. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. That's also fine. But just don't watch then. If you hate, if you just systematically can't fucking stand anything that I say, just don't watch then. Or speak up. You see, the funny part is I don't have them banned in this channel. They're not banned from talking. They could talk anytime. It's best if you don't like what's on, then change the channel. Exactly. But I must have purpose. Yeah. And I find it so funny. But again, lots of people out there right now that are having a difficult time because they're just regular people. They're just regular people trying to live their lives and do their thing and whatever else, and they're getting dragged into the nonsense that's been going on. Just embrace the villain role when your opponents are shitty people. At the end of the day, when life is gifting you with these garbage cans of humans, and they're raising their pitchforks and trying to attack you, just laugh in their face. Like, they think that for whatever reason, they think that for whatever reason, harassment is going to like win the day, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They think that by harassing people, they're gonna change people's opinions. I'll reply to an old tweet now. That's funny. Oh my goodness, I need to blow my nose. So I recently watched this thing on the interwebs of like this little exercise that you can do to open up your sinuses, and it actually does work. Kind of crazy. To restart the video, damn internet. Online bullying, it's so 2000 and late, right? But they just can't. They can't not do it. I don't understand it. They just can't not. So, for my advice to people out there who might be dealing with these weirdos, might be dealing with these like psychopaths, just embrace it. Be funny, laugh about it, joke about it, smile through it, because if nothing else, oh man, does that piss them off. If nothing else, you being happy and being absolutely not bothered at all by their attempts to attack you and assault you and change everybody's opinions around you, that will piss them off more than anything else that you could do. And I've said this to someone recently as well. If people out there, exactly, even if no one else laughs at your jokes by yourself, then you're funny to someone. Exactly. I said this to somebody recently. If there are people out there that, you know, call themselves your friend, and those people believe other people's opinion about you without questioning it, or without like first coming to you and talking to you, they were never your friend to begin with. So like they would be doing you a favor by exposing the fact that they were never actually truly friends with you. They were just passengers. Because people who are actually friends with you, and people who actually matter to you, or people that actually should, like, whose opinions should matter to you, those individuals will discuss with you. Those individuals will stand up and be like, hold on a second, that doesn't sound like Tracy, or that doesn't sound like Blight Blazer. I'm going to talk with them first. I'm going to make my decision after I have a discussion with them. Those people should matter to you, not Johnny fucking Toothless on the internet. Not Andy Anime Avatar on the internet, who hasn't said two words to you. Who cares what those opinions are? Who cares what those opinions are? Like, at the end of the day, why should I care what someone's opinion is of me who makes their day job taking dick? Now, if my day job was Dick Layer, then I might actually care. But that's not my day job. So you're welcome, distract enemies. You darn anime avatar. At the end of the day, it's like people. It's like plumbers taking advice from electricians on how to do plumbing. Why the fuck? At least you picked a smart anime character. True. Why the fuck would I care what someone's opinion is, whose interests or basically anything in life don't align with mine? Realities don't even align. Good talk, Blade Blazer. So people out there, if you guys are struggling with being the villain right now, take a good long hard look, potentially through a welding helmet if you have to in certain instances. Take a good long hard look at some of these people who are criticizing you, who are attacking you, who are saying stuff like this, and ask yourself honestly, do these people have anything at all to do with my life? Do they have any impact on my life? Do they have any value in my life? You've been the villain for years now, but they can handle the Giga Villain. Can they handle the Giga Villain? Apparently not. Distract enemies. At the end of the day, if your following is based for a very specific niche thing, that's what your following is going to be following you for. Unless they want to provide $3,000 for rent and bills, they can shut the fuck up. Exactly. Because I can tell you right now, nobody at all follows Stormy Daniels for her political acumen, right? Nobody is looking for the answer to the world's problems inside anybody's vaginal canal. I can tell you that right now. So I don't care how many followers you may or may not have on Pornhub. They are not there for the contents of your skull. Following Stormy Daniels for politics is like following O.J. Simpson for divorce advice. Oh my god. It's like following Amaranth for animal training tips. They don't pay your rent, they don't pay your bills, they sure as hell ain't fucking you, and they can shove their opinions up their ass. Exactly. That's the way it should be. Honestly, it is the way that it should be. Let OJ take a stab at the divorce. Oh my god. How terrible. This way worked and he got away from it. And he didn't have to pay alimony. So there you go. I mean, he took the till death situation pretty damn seriously, but hey. Man's a Christian, I suppose. Gave us that white Bronco weak chase, true. World's first meme. Meme before the internet was a thing. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. You don't need to care about it. Exactly. Exactly, Stacy. Exactly. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today, because I find it so funny, because like the original meme maker was Norm Macdonald. True. I just find it so funny because there's so many people out there that are struggling with being in communities or whatever else, that just get attacked and vilified and whatever else because they have opinions that are counterculture, that are against the very popular opinion, and just get vilified to absolute death over it. It's got to lean into it. You got to have fun with it, because at the end of the day, people who know you, like people who know me, for example, know that I'm not any of these things these weirdos are talking about. So you hate fan bases because it gets hijacked by idiots? It's true. It's true. It just requires people to be aware that this shit happens, and it requires people to be vigilant against it. Because there's a whole lot of wolf crying going on. A whole lot of crying wolf. And a whole lot of people being like, wow, so many goddamn wolves, but I haven't seen a single one. I don't know what they say anyways, so checkmate. That sign can't stop me because I can't read. So, I just want to let people out there know I'm perfectly okay. I've been more than happy the past little while. Aside from having bronchitis, that was probably the low light of my week. I've been perfectly fine. They've been trying to kill a lot of fan bases. Yeah, because destabilization of this stuff forces people to be depressed and forces people to be more on edge. Because when you take away escapism, the funniest part is that the people that are doing this type of stuff are the ones that need the escapism. They're the ones that need the idolization, and they're trying to centralize everyone into idolizing one party, one group of people, only listen to one group of people, blah, 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 blah. But they're doing it by doing the exact thing that they don't want people to do to them, which is remove their immersion, remove their escapism, remove their comfort, etc., etc. So, I mean, I live in reality, so I don't care if people bring reality to me, because I live in reality. There's a lot of people that live in Twitterland. You're mega depressed when you got into escapism and you decided to enjoy yourself. And when you were mega depressed, you got into escapism and you decided to enjoy it yourself and not let others ruin it for you. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the way it should be. Canada be damned, I'm going to the Klondike. That's the way that it should be, Distract Enemies. It should be a personal thing that you do. If your thing is trains, then go for it. If your thing is Dungeons and Dragons, then go for it. If your thing is video games, then go for it. Your thing is Pokemon, then go for it. Who the fuck cares what other people's opinions are? And if there are people who are assholes, because there are tons of people who are assholes on all of those things, we've seen it in Pokemon communities for many, many years. Don't let shitty people ruin good things for you. You want it to like D&D? You have to find the right group of people, I find. D&D can be very good or very bad, depending on who you play it with. And depending on how you play it. My goodness. My food's coming soon. Maybe. Oh yeah. Food's on the way. Found it to last way too long. You don't like that commitment? Yeah. I mean, so there are different iterations and different systems that are like one session or like very small session, very sample session things that you can do. Again, like it really depends on your group of people. Because like you can have a session that is just wrapped up in one game. You can have a session that goes on indefinitely. But you just got to find the right people. You prefer to be by yourself. You deal with enough people at work. Same here, Stacy. I'll be texting them. No worry. No worry. We'll be wrapping up pretty soon. I've said pretty much what I wanted to say in this show. I want to give people just an idea. I was like, just sometimes it's okay to be a villain. Sometimes it's okay. It's perfectly fine to be a dick sometimes and embrace that villain attitude. You have a friend who's been in a D&D game for the last 18 years. That's commitment. That is impressive. Jesus. Hot damn. Hot damn. The Canuckleheads story, you mean, Randy? Let me see if I can find what the hell I did with it. I think I do. I don't remember which store I went to ultimately though. The fuck did I do with it? I have to pull up like an old one. So like I had a oh god. Let's see. Might have been on this one. Maybe you should do a treatment stream where you get Ken Jennings to explain to do techniques to relax and not let your trauma get you. Man, if I could ever get it's Zazzle, that's what it was. If I could ever get Ken back on the show, that'd be great. I haven't talked to Ken in quite a long time. I hope he's doing okay. Oh yeah. Oh, there's a whole bunch of sales going on actually in the Zazzle. There we go. You can check out the Canuckleheads store. The Zazzle store has a bunch of really good merch on it, actually. And it's pretty good quality merch. I have quite a few of them. I have like the beer cozy. I have the tote bag is actually really nice. I have the puck. I have the flip flops, the playing cards. I have those too. It's pretty cool. There's a ton of shit that's on sale. A ton of shit that's on sale. Let's leave that open so I can actually put the Zazzle store back in there too. Enemies are buying your gear. It's true. Let's go. Yeah, no, feel free to buy that stuff. I mean, I don't get a huge return on it because I don't do huge markup on it, but I just like the merch because the merch is actually like really good quality and it's got like the make the heroes buy your merch. I should, yeah, that'd be nice. I know there's a few people that have been buying stuff. I have like the throw. The blanket, which is really nice. The blanket was nice. Fun fact, though, distract enemies. Ron Toye actually did buy a blanket, a Canuckleheads blanket, after he was on the show. I think he bought like a blanket and a pillow. How can you call yourself a villain if you aren't grifting them? This is true. He actually did. It was pretty funny. I mean, again, like I barely get anything at all off of the sales in my Zazzle store, but it's still going though. It's still going strong. I gotta get me my Canucklehead socks. That's what I gotta do. You saw Jamie and she was depressed. I got to grift harder than Nick. I'm really terrible at grifting, unfortunately. I'm not practiced in the art of grifting. Sadly. I don't know how to do it. I'm very bad at it. God damn it, what was my fucking account on here? Let's see how my store's doing. I got the PCG grift. Do I now? Oh, God's sakes. I don't remember what the hell this is. Oh my God. You know, I hate having 1,000 passwords and then having them all do the wrong thing. Like all having like the wrong thing at the same time. All right, none up. Hold that go. Google verification code. There we go. All right. The ADHD is linked to addiction. I think it is too. And I don't have ADHD. That is one thing I do not have. Where's my store? There it is. Okay, there we go. I have to like check to see if there's anything new that's going on in here. Yeah, I've made like a whole $20. Hell yeah. Maybe you have heroes. Maybe your heroes have ADHD because they have an addiction to you. Oh, I'm 100% sure that they do. I'm 100% sure. These weirdos have some massive addictions. Speaking of $6 more than OnlyFans models, yeah, let's go. Speaking of PCG though, I'm hoping to get an update sometime within the next week or two regarding some things. I don't know how much I'm gonna have in terms of what I'll be able to talk about, but there is some things happening in the next week or two that should make for some very interesting situations. So stay tuned for that. If there's anything crazy that happens, I'll let you know. But yeah, 15% off about most of this merchandise. That's pretty damn good. That's pretty goddamn good. Oh, there's also Canuckleheads wrapping paper too. More lights. Oh, they have the lunchbox in finally. Oh, the Canuckleheads lunchbox is finally in stock. That's amazing. What's wrong? It says it needs optimizing though. Can't see it unless you go to the website. Exactly. It's this one right here. Go to the Canuckleheads. Got a feeling it's con related. Well, we'll have more information about the Pokemon community game stuff as soon as I'm able to get that going. So. What does it need optimizing for? It's perfectly fine. Weirdo machine. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. My food is coming soon, and I am pretty hungry. But yeah, now you can get your very own lunchbox. The lunchbox had been sold out for fucking so long, and now it's actually in stock. I'm kind of tempted to get one, because that's kind of nuts. You've done my job if I'm distracted. I am. It's 20% off right now. Or sorry, 15% off with Create for You. There you go. So guys, that's the show. That's the show for today. I even brought back the Canuckleheads shop because I completely forgot that existed. So thank you, Randy, for bringing that up. Thank you, Randy, for reminding me that exists. Guys, we'll be back again next week. I'm sure something will happen between now and next week that we'll have a discussion topic about. But it's been nice to be back, though. It's been nice to be back and chatting with you guys. I'll be on Twitch shortly after food tonight, so if you want to hang out with me and watch me rage at video games, come on over to Twitch. You have a good one. You just realized you let your autism take over the chat. No, you're perfectly fine. Distract enemies. That's what the show is for. That's what the show is supposed to be. I'm happy. I'm happy to kind of just side tangent off and chat about stuff. I mean, we're like an hour and 45 minutes in, so it's rare that people are going to be sticking around this late into the show anyway. So, have yourselves a good night. And as always, folks, keep your stick on the ice. Until next time, bye-bye.